Yo, what is up, guys? It is your host Seiji Samurai here, and welcome back to the channel. Yeah, guys, here we are, and welcome back to another part to What If Asta had Acnologia's powers. You guys had loved the last part, and you guys asked me for a part 2, so here's part 2. And hopefully, if you guys give me enough support on this one, I'll make a part 3. Or who am I kidding? I'm gonna make part 3 either ways, but still, yeah, show your support to it. Now, I wanted to get things out of the way. Like, I wanted to clear some things up because I realized that during the time when I was saying, like, doing the what if, I kind of forgot to mention something. So number one, exactly how did Asta get his magic? Well, that's pretty simple. While Acnologia was raising Asta, he would slowly but surely begin to apply his magic energy into Asta. Like, he would transfer it to Asta. However, he would not do it like all in one go because, bro, that's lethal. Because don't forget, this man was way stronger than normal humans. And if he were to just go ahead and be like, hey, Asta, here, take all my entire power of magic energy, that would literally end up killing him. Because he need to let Asta's body grow with the magic. And as Asta continued growing, he ended up giving Asta, so he would slowly transfer Asta more and more energy. Until eventually, when it was his last breath, he would give Asta all of it. All right, that's gonna be my excuse. If you guys don't like it, well, too bad. It's my what if. Another thing we're gonna do is the fact that number two, how exactly what is Asta's personality in this one, and I'm just gonna say it. Asta is an extremely blunt person. All right, he's very simple and blunt. So he's gonna be like, if he doesn't like something, he's gonna be like, I don't like this. Or if he goes around and just like, if he finds someone like stupid, he'll be like, you're dumb. So you can very well expect Asta to go ahead and start saying some, very out of pocket comments, but it's going to be funny, okay? So yeah, you guys can very well expect this much from him. So yeah. And besides that, guys, I don't really know what else to really say much for this intro since it's now 2 minutes long. So I think I'm just going to go ahead and cut this thing right here and just get started with this video. So with all that being said, guys, once again, thank you for your support. And either way, let's begin.
You're never gonna make it, you're not good enough. There's a million other people with the same stuff. You really think you're different, man, you must be kidding. Think you're gonna hit it, but you just don't get it. It's impossible, it's not probable, you're irresponsible. Too many obstacles, you gotta stop it, yo. You gotta take it slow, you can't be a pro. Don't waste your time no more. Who the fuck are you to tell me what to do?
Alright, guys, let's get started with this what if. Alright, so we now start off this what if where we see Asta as well as Yami and pretty much the rest of the crew, that being Finro and Gordon, all arrive at the Black Bull's base. Now, upon their arrival, of course, Yami would introduce Asta, telling that, it was the lowest of the low, to which Asta had found it interesting. However, not even a few steps in, this when suddenly the base would then explode. Luck, you bastard, come back here! We would hear Magma shout as we see Luck running around laughing, as Magma was throwing him a bunch of fireballs, while Vanessa was just there on the couch drinking, while Ghost was just looking at a picture of Marie with a nosebleed, while Gordon was, well, Gordon. Either way, as Asta was looking out of the car, he can do nothing more but actually laugh at the display. These guys are funny, he would say. As Yami would go ahead and see out the destruction, he would then slam his fist down the base, causing it to shatter even more. You brats, settle down now, he would say, causing everyone to go back in line. Huh, I guess this guy actually does know how to get respect, Asta would think. As this is when suddenly Yami would then begin the introductions. Alright, you guys. Listen, we got a new member. This is Asta. He's part of the Black Bulls now. At this, everyone will be looking at Asta as Asta would, just wave his hand. And this is when, of course, Vanessa's like, oh, so this is the new recruit. Nice to meet ya. As she would then barf on the floor, which caused Asta to go ahead and wrinkle his nose since, he has extremely strong senses. Hey, I did not exactly accept this guy into the Black Bulls yet. He has to go through the baptism, said Magma as he walks up to Asta in his face, which caused Asta to have a fierce grin as he then looks at Magma. Is that a fight? At this, Magma and Asta would stare down at each other. This one Lux say, oh, a fight? Oh, you look strong. Do you want to fight me? At this, everyone would then turn to Luck, but this one Asta would say, oh yeah, I'm down. At this, Yami would actually look at this quite interested. Huh. Hey, Luck, you're doing the baptism. At this, Lucky goes ahead and shouts, begins to cheer, while Magma looks at, Yami, upset. Oh, come on. Hey, I said he's doing it. At this, of course, Magma just reacts like, okay, I'm cool. So flashing forward a little bit, we end up seeing the Black Bulls outside with their couch as they sit down to watch the fight between Luck and Asta. At this, Luck would then say, man, I'm so excited. I can already tell you're super strong. At this, Asta can say, same here. It's been a while since I actually got a good fight. You look like you're going to be doing something pretty decent. As all the Black Bulls watch carefully, this is when Luck would then put on his lightning boots and claws as he dashes off towards Asta, swiping at his face. At this, however, Asta would then dodge as he would then suddenly slam the palm of his fist directly into Luck, causing him to be sent flying. At this, Asta would look at him. Is that it? However, Luck would actually recover from this as he then flips over and says, wow, you're actually pretty fast. But not faster than me, he would say. As he would then suddenly turn into a bolt of lightning, he would appear behind us as he tries swiping him from behind, only for Asta to duck. Don't get me wrong, you're fast. It's just, I know how to react to it. As this is when Asta would then elbow him in the gut, Luck would once again be sent flying, as he ends up rolling over, once again flipping over to regain balance. Damn, he hit hard, Luck would say. As each blow that Asta hit felt like as he was getting hit like by a wrecking bar or something, like it hurts. And the worst thing is that Asta keeps hitting him in the stomach. This Luck gives him a fierce smile until he actually feels his lunch, crawling up on him as he spits out. He actually made me throw up? Alright, that's it. At this is when Luck would once again vanish. He would appear in front of Asta. At this, Asta would look at him confused as he what, is he going to try swiping at him again? But this is when Luck would then shoot off a bunch of lightning balls from the palm of his hand. How do you like this? At this, Asta would see the ginormous bolts of lightning approaching him, as this is when suddenly he then gains a smile. I think this looks delicious. At this, Asta would then catch each one of the literally begin to actually absorb the lightning as he opens his mouth, as he actually eats up the magic. This will cause all the Black Bull's eyes to widen, while Yami could already tell that, oh shit, this kid is powered up, as he could literally tell that Asta's magic had just increased. By the time Asta was done absorbing the attack that Luck had thrown at him, he would go ahead and, burp out a little bit. Thanks for the food. At this, Luck was just looking at him like, you just ate my magic. At this, Asta would then smirk. Yup, and it was delicious. Let me pay you back for it. At this, Asta would then begin to charge up as he would then begin to look at the air around him, as he would then begin to breathe in deeply. At this, suddenly everyone can feel a ginormous amount of magic begin to pull in towards Asta, as the air around them was getting pulled around as they were literally getting sucked into Asta's mouth. At this, Yami's like, oh shit. Alright, that's enough. At this, Asta was literally about to demand the attack, however, Yami had stopped him. But I was about to do the attack. At this, Yami then say, look kid, that attack, are you trying to destroy the base? Are you trying to? At this, Asta will look at Yami upset, but until he finally decides to agree, as he decides, to just let go of the magic energy. Man, you're such a bummer. However, this is when suddenly Luck would then once again get up. It's not over. I can still fight. At this, Asta then looks at Yami with a smile. You see, he can still fight. I can still fight too. At this, Yami will look at Luck. Luck, are you seriously telling me you could actually take him on after you sense that? At this, Luck would once again, nod his head, saying like, yeah, he could still take him on. As this one also then say, all right, I'm coming for you one last time. At this, however, this is when Yami would then begin to speak up, but also would then turn serious. Don't worry, I would hold back. As this one also will once again begin to charge up. Dragon Slayer arts. Power of the end. As this is when suddenly he would then gain a bluish glow on his fist. He would then dash off directly towards Luck, as Luck would then rush towards Asta with his lightning claws. At this, all the Black Bulls would then watch as the attacks then clash, causing a ginormous explosion to go off, literally pushing the couch back, as well as causing the Black Bulls to try holding on, or else they'll be sent flying just from the force of the attack. However, the power clash was only one-sided, as suddenly bursting from the smoke, you'll see Luck as he gets sent flying, crashing through a bunch of trees, and only leaving Asta there with his fists extended. I win! At this, Asta would say with a fierce grin, as Luck would then suddenly reveal himself. He was only slightly injured, he didn't have anything like life-threatening. As Luck would walk out of there, he would then say, man, you're strong. He would say, as he has a smile on his face. As this is when Magma would then walk up to Asta and say, hey, as he gets right up into his face. That was so manly. You are definitely in. At this, the rest of the Black Bulls will then celebrate as they all rush over, while Luck also rushes over, trying to talk to Asta, like, how did he do that and all that stuff. While this was happening, though, Yami was looking at him with a weird expression. Just what was the attack earlier? as he was trying to remember exactly what the attack that Asta was about to do. Is the way that Asta was just generating a bunch of magic energy in that moment. It was so powerful that Yami felt as if, well, he didn't know if he can exactly counter the attack. This kid, he just keeps getting more and more interesting. As he then gets a smile on his face, he also begins to walk over. However, unaware to all of them, we will see all the way in the corner, we will see Noelle, who's looking at all that. How did he do that? He ate magic. He was so strong. Does he come from a royal family? At this, we will now flash forward to the next day. At this, eventually after Asa had gone his room, and after getting completely acquainted with everyone, he was pretty much shown around by Magma as he tells him Asta like all the chores he has to do and all that stuff. So which Asta doesn't mind since, you know, he does take care of his business, alright? I mean, he helped out in the orphanage, so of course he knows what to do. As after a while, as we turn to see in the present where we see Asta and Magma just at the beast cage, Magma will tell Asta that he has to feed the beast during the lunch. However, as soon as he turns back to the meat that he had in his hand, he will then go, his eyes would go wide as it would suddenly vanish. What? At this, he would then turn to Asta only to see him eating the meat that was on the bone. It's delicious, man, and they get to eat this every day? Lucky bastard, she would say. As she bites down, he literally ate the meat so fast that literally all that was left was the bone. That was not for you, that was for them! At this, the rest of the beasts who had saw Asta would then get angry as they started, pounding on the cage, causing Magma to freeze up and everything. But this when Asta would then turn to them, shut up! At this, the beast would then suddenly be quiet as they, begin to whimper, as Asta begins to look at Magma. Is there any more food? So manly. Magma can only say as seriously, dude, that was the epitome of manliness right now. As he tries to ask Asta how he did it, he just says, they acknowledge who is stronger than them. At this, Magma once again calls Asta manly, as they once again trying to talk about it, while Asta's telling Magma if they can go get some lunch, to which Magma agrees. However, this one suddenly they'll then hear footsteps. Oh, I guess you're still here. Asta, meet your other recruit. Meet Noelle. At this, Asta would turn to her as she would be right there with the bored expression on her face. Well, not a bored one, more like a blank one. As this when Asta would then walk over to her, he would then give her a calm smile. My name is Asta. Nice to meet you. He then says he reached out his hand. At this, she would then look at Asta. What royal family do you deem from? At this, Asta would look at her. I'm not from a royal family. Noelle, hearing this, would then suddenly turn her face into disgust as she would then slap Asta's hand away from her. As she then screams at Asta, get your filthy commoner hand away from me. I'm part of the Silva family. You're not even supposed to breathe the same air as me, she would say. And hearing these words, Asta's friendly demeanor didn't change as his eyes become icy cold. Oh, is that so? Alright, Magma, I'm pretty sure I'm done here. Let's go get lunch. This Magma would look at, Asta as he was about to, scream at Noelle, but seeing that Asta was actually, mature about it, he's like, okay, then come on, let's go ahead and get some lunch. As he also decided to ignore Noelle. Seeing this, Noelle would be surprised and he says, How dare you turn your back on me? I'll show you. As she would then pull out her magic wand, she would then shoot off a water ball directly towards Asta. At this, however, right before it could actually curve and miss the target, Asta would then slap that thing away, literally causing it to disperse. You trying to pick a fight or something? Asta would say, as suddenly he will begin to charge up mana into his fist as he turns to Noelle. As Magma could see that Asta was dead on ready to fight this girl, while Noelle was actually, backpedaling in fear. As Asta had literally a look that said he's not fucking around. At this, Noelle would actually begin to, quiver as Asta begins to approach, only for Magma to get in the way. Look, man, it's okay. She just like that, okay? At this is when Noelle would then begin to throw a tantrum. She then throws the Black Bull's robe on the ground, saying that she doesn't need this stupid squad before running off. Picking a fight, then running off. What's her deal? At this, Magma honestly has no idea, as he then picks up the robe, begins sobbing for it, to which Asta then walk over to him, patting him on the back awkwardly. Hey, it's okay. You can go ahead and have Vanessa-senpai take care of it. At this, Magma then looks at him. Oh, you're right. Witch, I need you to fix this, as he runs off. Asta would then sigh. We never got lunch. Moving on forward, after Asta had eaten his lunch, he would then currently see the Dragon Slayer outside as he was training in his magic. At this, we will see Asta punch a tree with all his might as it will cause a ginormous, pretty much causing him to split the earth underneath. Damn it! not enough. At this, Asta wouldn't look at one of the trees as he would then walk over to it as he would pull it from the ground. Alright, let's do this. One last time. At this, Asta would then once again swing. He would then swing the tree up in the air as he would then once again charge up a bunch of mana. Alright, let's do this one last time. However, he would then stop as he would then sense magic. Huh? Turning around, we would then see Noelle as she was currently practicing her magic, as she was trying to hit a target but failing every single time. Damn it, damn it, damn it! We would hear Noelle scream out as she would once again scream down frustration at not being able to hit the target. At this, after a while of seeing this, Asta then decided to walk out. You have incredibly shitty control over your magic, you know that, right? Hearing his words, Noelle would turn to Asta surprised as she would then panic as she shoots off a water ball directly at Asta as she screams out in terror. However, only to her surprise, the water ball actually gets sent right back at her and causing her to actually begin to get swelled up by her own magic. At this, Asta will look at her confused. What are you doing? At this, Noelle would then begin to get flown up into the air as her magic begins to spiral out of control. Eventually, this will end up catching the other Black Bull's attention as they end up seeing the ginormous amount of magic, while Asta, well, as he sees the magic grow and grow, he's looking at it as if it was like a 5-course buffet. Oh my god, I never seen anything much so beautiful, Asta would say as he looks at the ginormous amount of magic, just asking him to devour it. At this, Asta would then jump up into the air with a ginormous woohoo as he jumps up into the air with a hungry look on his face. At this, the other Black Bulls will see Asta approaching it as Yami would then say, is this? Nah, he's not really gonna. At this, the rest of the Black Bulls would then see as Asta would then arrive there as he would then begin to actually absorb and eat up the magic. He's really doing it. At this, they could do nothing more but watch as Asta literally devours the thing with a happy smile on his face. This magic's delicious, man. With this, he begins scarfing it down completely, even though he literally just had lunch like a few seconds ago. As after devouring all of Noelle's magic, Asta is, completely pleased as his stomach is full. But this is when Noelle would then fall as she ends up landing on Asta's arms. Don't worry, I gotcha, Finro would say as he opens a portal, causing Asta and Noelle to land back on the ground safely. At this, sooner or later, after a few minutes pass, Noelle would then wake up, only to see herself surrounded by the Black Bulls. As she would then think that they were going to ridicule her or insult her, this is when suddenly the complete opposite happens. Dang it, although you have a pretty shitty attitude, your magic is amazing, Magma would say. As this is when the other Black Bulls begin to actually compliment her, surprising her, as all they're telling her that all she needs is some control. However, while this was happening, though, Asta was just walking away with a bored expression on his face. I mean, yeah, don't get me wrong, it was all pretty impressive, and he did get a pretty good meal out of it, but, I mean, heck, he has better things to do. However, as he was walking away, this was suddenly he would then be approached by Noelle. Commoner, Asta, she would say. At this, she would then begin to apologize to Asta, saying that what she did was, unnoble-like. But this is when Asta began to laugh. You're weird. Please, listen, alright? I don't know exactly how things are in the high-class world of nobles, but listen, alright? Here, you got to, listen, you can act all noble all you want, but do this, alright? Be a noble. Don't be a bitch about it, okay? Fix up that shitty attitude of yours. Because trust me, you're not going to make any friends here with that. Also is a blunt person. And honestly, Noelle's attitude was incredibly shitty and he does not want any part of it. At this, Noelle would, of course, actually be surprised as no one's really ever talked to her like that. As Asta begins walking away, though, as he then says, and besides, listen, I may not like that attitude of yours. However, I do have to admit, that magic of yours is quite delicious. And if you ever need help getting it under control, just ask me. As Asta would send her a fierce grin, she would then actually blush, as this is sort of when Noelle actually gets her first crush on Asta. Moving on through the days, Noelle's personality had settled down. She's not exactly all mean and all that stuff. She finally actually began to get to know the Black Bulls and actually enjoy their company. She really was a completely different person whenever Asta was around, as instead of being like a high-class noble snob or whatever, she's like, I'm a noble and all that stuff. No, she actually goes around and actually speaks like a normal person, although sometimes she actually ends up, blushing a lot and sometimes goes completely quiet whenever Asta's around. But, that's just typical crush stuff. As also, she also ended up taking Asta wow, I cannot talk. She also ended up taking Asta on the offer of helping her train. As Asta, whenever he was around, he would actually help her. Whenever her magic would actually get out of control, Asta would actually be there to eat up the magic. As like Asta said, it actually benefits him also because he's getting a free meal out of this, bro. Like, bro, that's a free meal just waiting for Asta to devour it. Come on. So with that being said, eventually things would actually begin to go well for the Black Bulls. Another thing is during this point though, Asta actually also began taking on missions. As Asta, like I said, he has a very fierce battle like appetite, and that he likes to fight. Now I wouldn't say he's exactly like an incredible battle junkie like Luck, although he's on that spectrum. But he's definitely someone who's more about action than just sitting around and lounging about. As we turn to the present, Asta had taken up a bunch of the missions for the Black Bulls. We will see him return back from one other mission as he comes back, well, completely unscathed. Alright, I'm back. The Black Bulls will then be there as they greet Asta, as Noelle would actually be the first one to actually run up on him, asking him, what did he do or like what anything happened. To which Asta explained that, he did nothing much, just fought off a bunch of monsters. However, this one suddenly approaching. There was suddenly a door would then burst open as we see Magma and Yami bust in completely butt naked. As this is when suddenly they will then reveal that they lost a bet and that they have a mission for them. Flashing forward to the present, we see Asta currently beating up Boris with his bare hands as he ends up tossing them about. Magma, are you sure I can't eat these guys? He would say as Magma once again scoffs. Asta, you can't eat these. These are for the village. But there's also then, once again sighs, and he says, it's only one. It's not like I'm going to eat the whole entire thing. As he looks at the boar, who are currently like trying to hide away from Asta, also have a hungry look in his eyes. He chases after them. The only thing that goes in that guy's mind is food, fighting, and whatever else is in there. Noelle would say. However, this is when man will once again speak up. Yeah, but that's what makes Asta the epitome of manliness. Like, come on. As eventually, after being up Boris with bare hands, Magma would actually ask Asta a question. Hey Asta, I gotta ask you something. How are you so physically strong? Like how exactly are that? Don't get me wrong, I've seen like strong people before, but like your strength is just it's not exactly human. At this, Asta would actually laugh at that. Of course it's not human. I have the strength of a dragon. At this, Magma would actually look at Asta where Noelle would then speak up. Yeah, there's also another thing. You always said that your magic was Dragon Slayer magic, but like, that makes no sense. How exactly do you have Dragon Slayer magic? We don't have dragons here. At this, yeah, they had wyverns, but like, any like actual dragons, like ginormous ones, there's no such thing as that there. Or at least that she knows of. Well, it's kind of hard to explain. I do know one thing. My father was a Dragon Slayer. He taught me everything he knew right before Asta could explain it though, this one suddenly he would then sense something. Wait, what? At this, Asta would sniff the air as he would then sense something incredibly wrong. We gotta go. At this, Asta would then suddenly throw down the board as he then dashes off directly towards the village. Noelle and like Magma were confused. But this is when suddenly they'll also then see like smoke coming from the village as this is when they all, they rise up to chase after Asta. Back in the village, we will then see, the leader of the village currently down as he was facing off against one of the mages there. As this one, he would then suddenly begin to create an ice shard. He would then toss it directly at the village elder. However, this one suddenly a fist would then collide with it, destroying it. At this, we would then see Asta there and says, don't even try it. Of course, seeing that the old man was saved, the child would then run over to his grandfather as he hugs him, crying, thought he was he thought he was dead. As the man would also hug this child, thinking that he also thought the same thing. As Asta would look at this though, he can honestly feel like memories flash when he was a kid, and this caused him to get even more angry. Just what the hell are you doing? Asta would say as he turns to them. At this, we will see Heath and his men, who was currently looking at Asta with a bored expression. Do you have the stone? He would say as he looks down at his watch, realizing that if he does not finish up soon, he was going to be off schedule. At this, Asta would say, I don't know exactly what the hell is this stone you're talking about, but you just try to hurt innocent people. And that doesn't sit right with me. As Asta would then crack his knuckles, he would then turn to Heath. At this, he would then sigh. I got no time for this. At this, he would then suddenly create multiple icicle shards and says, be gone, you annoyance. as he shoots off these icicle shards at Asta. Asta would of course actually take the hit completely. At this, everyone would watch, thinking that Asta was done. However, once he was revealed, he would show that he was completely fine. I'll ask you again, just what the hell do you think you're doing here? At this, Heath was, in shock, as this when suddenly the rest of his men would then get angry. Don't you dare talk to him like that, as they all shoot off their spells at Asta. As Asta seeing this, he would then open his mouth as he absorbs the magic quite easily. Alright, since it's clear you're not going to answer my question, I'm just going to have to beat it out of you. As Asta would rush over, he would then punch one of the Heat's men down to the ground, as he then suddenly spins around and gives a drop kick directly to the other one, until finally he will then flip over to the last one, as he then grab his elbow and flip him over down onto the concrete ground until he suddenly snaps his arm. At this, Heath will actually watch as Asta does this in just a matter of seconds. He's fast. However, this one suddenly Asta will then rush over to him at top speeds, as he will then scoff. Don't even think about it. As he creates a ginormous icicle shard, he will then shoot it towards Asta. However, Asta would look at the shard like as if it was nothing. Don't even think that can stop me, Asta would say, as he would then punch the shard like it was nothing. He would then be on Heath as he punches him in the face, sending him flying. Eventually, Magma as well as Noelle would also arrive, as this is when Magma tries to assist Asta, as the rest of the men then try to get up. At this, he would try helping Asta while Asta fights against Heath. Well, more likely like he was getting beaten down by Asta, who was currently like chasing after the man. He tries to counterattack against Asta, but Asta wasn't even giving him a chance. You dare try to hurt these people's elders. You try hurting innocent people for your selfish goals. And to top it all off, you're still a weakling, Asta would say, as he then suddenly knees Heath in the face, causing him to break his nose, as Heath will fall down to the ground. Damn it. As he would then realize that he was completely off schedule. Now he created multiple ginormous ice shards. As suddenly, this is when of course Noelle would also begin to realize, as due to Magma being like being the other one fighting against the other mages also began to charge up and attack, as they realized they're now aiming for the villagers. This is when suddenly she will then create the sea dragon's cradle, as this will cause it to protect the villagers, luckily, and this also is causing Noelle to get her confidence boost. At this, however, we then turn back to Asta, who was then surrounded by multiple ginormous ice shards. Die, Heath would say as he shoots the attack at Asta. However, Asta would have nothing of it. I'm gonna blow you all away. As this one suddenly he would actually once again absorb and eat up all the magic that Heath had thrown at him. At this, Heath would watch in shock as he looks at him. You're not human. However, Asta wouldn't look at him. I don't care what you think of me. You're gonna pay. As this one suddenly also began to charge up, as he then lets out a ginormous roar, as he would then suddenly bring his arm up. Dragon Slayer Arts. Eruption. At this, suddenly, each one of Heath's men will then suddenly get a faintish glow underneath them. As suddenly, bursting from the ground would then be pure magic, as Heath and his men would then be swallowed up by it. As a mighty cry would then be heard, the eruption would actually shake the village completely. As when the attack was done, Heath and his men were completely injured, as they will be knocked out unconscious in a crater that was formed by Asta. Weakling, Asta would think. After that whole event had occurred, eventually Heath and his men would eventually wake up, with them offing themselves so that way they don't get interrogated. At this, Asta was of course pissed off, mostly because not only did they not even put up a fight, but they chose the coward's way out. And this only pissed off Asta. However, there was one thing he was glad that the people were saved. Of course, the people were extremely thankful, telling them if there was any way to repay them, but Asta, as well as the rest of the Black Bulls, just denied it. Magma had also realized that out of everyone, he didn't do much during this mission. So realizing this, he decided to up his training and try to once again to because after all, he was a senior. He needed to help his Kohai. So we're now moving on with the time skip, as finally after returning back from the mission, the Black Bulls were just chilling, bro. They're relaxing. As this is when Yami would then appear. Alright guys, I want to give us some good news here. We got ourselves 35 stars from the Wizard King. At this, everyone was in shock as they were not expecting that. What? So apparently, all the missions that Asta had done had begun to tile up as the Black Bulls were receiving like a bunch of stars. But that was not it. That was not the only thing though. Due to this, Asta had also, after the events of what happened at the village, this also caused the Black Bulls to also get an extra 30. So yeah. So in total, the Black Bulls have won a total of 55. Yeah, a total of 55 stars in total. But this was just like the new amount that they just got. Wow, 50. Wow, that's 35 stars. How many do we have now? At this, Yami would look at them and see and says, "Well, let's see. Well, we started off at negative 30, but now we're now coming back up. So we're now at 25 stars." At this, everyone would look at Yami, cheering and everything. How are you? Noelle would look at them. That's not something that we should be proud of. Also, would just shrug his hands and says, "Do we have any more missions?" At this, Yami looks at him. "You need to take a break." At this, Asta does not want to, but Yami ends up telling them, to which Vanessa would actually tell them, she knows the perfect place where to take them. So she ends up taking them out, so that they can go explore, shop. And this is where Noelle ends up getting her wand and everything, as Asta honestly did not care. Boring, Asta would think. However, this one suddenly a crowd would then be heard. "Stop, he took my purse!" At this, an old woman would then shout, as this one Seke would then, walk out, as he tries to flaunt his, royal matching knightliness. However, this one Asta would then blitz the man as he didn't pierce right in front of him. "Okay, give it back," he would say. At this, the man said nothing as he looks at Asta in surprise. However, seeing that the man was not responding, Asta would just grab him and chokeslam him into the ground. "I said give it back." "Hey, you can't fall unconscious," Asta would say as he looks at the man who currently had his eyes rolled back in his head, meaning that he fell unconscious. "Damn it." At this, Asta would then grab the purse as the old woman would walk over to him, and she thanks Asta so much. Asta would look at the man confused. "You're a weird dude, you know that, right?" At this, the old woman's eyes would widen as she would then, smile and says, "Silly boy," as she grabs her purse as everyone would, begin to congratulate Asta, while Asta just, soaks in the praise, not really caring. After this, Vanessa as well as Noelle would then rush over to him, with Vanessa complimenting Asta, as she then tells Asta if they want to go get a drink, to which Asta just shakes his head, saying that he wants to go home to train. So after that, the Black Wolves end up returning back home. However, while doing this, though, we wouldn't see, at the corner of our eyes, we would see the Wizard King, as we would see him transform out of the old lady. He knew who I was. He kept getting more and more interesting. As the Wizard King was honestly extremely excited, as he decided that he was going to give Asta a little bit of a test, a dungeon. As he decides to prepare this is when Marks would then inform the Wizard King, to which, realizing he has to go back to his post, he would then vanish. As this is where we're now going to end this part of the What If. What do you guys think is going to happen next, huh? How do you think Asta's going to do in this dungeon? What threats will Asta's encounter? And what do you think is going to happen when Asta and Yuno meet up again? You're all going to have to find out in the next part. But either way, guys, thank you all so much for your support. And yeah, honestly, yeah, I'm glad to say that slowly but surely the channel is making a slight comeback. I'm glad to see that. And once again, hopefully you guys will stick around here to watch the videos and everything. Again, input any ideas or anything you guys want in the future. I gladly take them and write down the suggestions. And besides that, guys, it is your host, HG Samurai here. And I'm going to go enjoy my weekend. Peace.